Hey America, Chef John, Ghetto Gourmet. So, this is a just a sponge. Yeah, fruit flies love this stuff. You got to keep it covered all the time. This is a sponge with white flour or bread flour. We've got some garlic in there, a little bit of sugar, about 8 ounces of water. I'm gonna put you guys down here, and a little vanilla. Okay, and here's a little bit more vanilla. Okay. What I'm making today is a pizza, and because my kitchen's a mess, and I have the energy. I ran 5. I'm building back up. All right, after my bad experience. So, anyways, let's skip over that. So, what we're gonna do with this is I add the vanilla. All right, and then I'm gonna add flour. Okay, and then I'm gonna add a little yeast on top of the flour. Okay, about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. I want this dough to have some spring in it. All right. At the same time, I want it to have a little bit of flavor. All right. So we put garlic powder in there. We put vanilla in there. Now we're gonna add some. I like the shredded Parmesan. It gives a better effect. All right. And I noticed that all of a sudden somebody put a pretzel pizza up right after I did that nice bread crust pizza roll. So I'm actually going to try to redo that. And get a real nice pizza roll on the outside of it. So I might have to add a little bit more water. So the yeast, the Parmesan's kind of salty. So, all right, now as simple as, where's the salt? Yeah, last part. All right, and I noticed I put the salt away from the yeast. Well, salt inhibits yeast growth. This is garlic, granulated garlic. It works better than powdered. For this instance, all right. So now we have that. All right, and I just take that and I turn that into a dough. Simple as that. Okay. Now that had been, I put that in the fridge yesterday. I thought about making this yesterday because I had the smoked chicken. I still have some smoked chicken left. It's going to be pepperoni smoked chicken on a cream sauce with this crust. All right, see how that wet that is? So we can add some more. It's real wet. All right. I bought a whole nother bag of bread flour in case I need it. And since I'm going to put a little bit more yeast in just because I want this to have the really good raise. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to skip the kneading part. You guys don't need to see all that. I don't got any stories to tell. And besides that, my battery's says my batteries can only handle so much. Act like nothing happened. This is not happening. Alright, there we go, everybody. See, and it's going to be a wet dough when I pull it out. I know that, alright? Because of the sugar and because it's just really wet. But that's okay when you start working with a wet dough, which is often the case, especially with high hydroscopicity doughs like rye and buckwheat and even whole wheat. Those maintain more moisture, and it's not because they have the gluten that bread flour or high gluten flour has. It's because they have other things that are soaking up the moisture. So that's when I talk about hydroscopicity of bread. So often when you pull a rye out, and often really in professional kitchens you're not doing this stuff on the table. It's not easy to pull some some of these doughs out in a home kitchen, because you have to be so precise in the formulas and just. But I'm sure if I start going off into some exotic breads like brioche and a challah, I want to give a challah to the people at the end of the street who teach Krav Maga. Yeah, I went to ask him, because of my handicap, I went to ask if I could like work out there. But I got the feeling that Krav Maga is a lot like Aikido, Judo, Taekwondo, where you're not doing so much impact with like bags. You're not training like a boxer or a MMA or a Thai boxer, or any of those impacts. It's impact sports now. All right, let's call it that. But but they gave me something, and it was really nice of her, because I just offered to come in and clean up on if I could. I've been trying to get healthy for 4 years. You know what I mean? I've been willing to. Besides all the work that this is all for free, I don't have to run a show, but I said that before. I really love the show, so let's take that off the table. I didn't say that. All right, I'm really enjoying what I do, giving back to the community. I spend 40 to 60 hours a week doing it, besides my exercising, and I got to exercise every single day, or I can't walk. So, I sat down for 7 days, and y'all saw the video. That was a hard day, man. I made it to the store. Or no, that day I didn't. I don't know. It's all written down. I keep a daily log of all this crazy stuff that happens in my life. Like that. I'll have to record that. I had a freeze. I call them because my head's falling off my neck sometimes, almost, it feels like. So, and ever since I took the impact and the police were here, I had some extra problems, and I had already taken a spinal impact a week before, and that was on my spine, but where I impacted with the police was directly on my neck. But anyways, I'm not blah 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 about the police. I couldn't care less about them, really. I just Well, anyways, so but the impact to my neck caused swelling. And the swelling was doing some very, very bad stuff, because it impacted on the one vertebrae that Dr. Lin has said was getting worse. And he's like, man, they're just going to wait until you're paralyzed, or because of these strange movements I have. And they said they won't operate on you. So basically, I'm on the edge of being paralyzed. And that blow to my neck sent me that much closer. Thank you. Yeah, anyways. We're going to have a nice dough. See how soft it is? But I keep working it around. The way I push it like that, and I try to get extra work in it, because the way my shoulders work, I can't push down very well. So I have to kind of like push from the side, do strange reaction and movements, but I try not to get it on my hands. Try to keep the hands and your surface dry. And this is going to be a good sized pizza. And so, yeah, I'm starting a little late. It's like 5 o'clock. I've been eating a little later, staying up a little bit later. But that's, oops. There went the flour. That's all right, man. As long as I make it through every day and I live it happy, even with all the crazies. Oh, that's right. We weren't going to talk. I'll see you later. Peace. Excuse me. I'm trying to, yeah.